Week 4 ELA Day 4. And if you remember, there was no Day 3 video, so let's get right to it. Hopefully out on your desk, you are going to have your iPad right in front of your big book. And your big book is your big purple book. So have your purple book closest to you, and then have your iPad maybe up to the side there, kind of like I showed you in class. So we're going to follow along on page 10. So open up page 10 on your book, and on page 10 on your book, I would like you to look up at the top, and I'm going to read aloud first before we get going. Now hopefully you have your split screen already enabled, and you have to open the other document, and the other document, boys and girls, is going to look like this. Now mine is in black and white. So on one side you're going to have me, the other side you're going to have your Word document, kind of like we did in class, and then right in front of you you're going to have your reading. So you're kind of doing three things at once. Some tough stuff. So if you need to pause me at any time and get me set up, get me set up. If not, I'm going to go. Lesson 1. Finding main ideas and details. And our learning target this week, boys and girls, is identifying the biggest, most important idea about a topic, and the details that tell more about the idea will help you understand an informational text. And if you remember, we're not talking about characters and setting and a plot and kind of like our story mountain that we did in ELA. We're talking about informational text. So these are a lot of facts and information. Read. As you read an informational text, figure out the point or what the author wants you to understand about the topic. The main idea, or the most important idea, is what the text mostly tells about a topic. Key details support the main idea by giving important facts, examples, and other information that explain more about it. In an informational text, an author often states the main idea early in a paragraph or a passage. Now there are times, though, boys and girls, when we get going, you have to make an inference, which means not every author is going to flat out tell us what the main idea is. And it's not going to be a sentence that says, my main idea is this. There are times where we just got to kind of read through and think, okay, that's the key idea, and then here's the things that support it. Okay? Key details that say more about the main idea usually follow right after. So, I would like you to follow along with me and look how short this paragraph is. This is a perfect practice for us. You're going to have your screen open, ready to type. Notice I put the topic down for you already. Again, yours is going to be in green, but Lewis and Clark's faithful companion is our topic. And your yellow, we're going to have just one main idea. It's not going to be like in class when we did our seasons, why seasons change, and why birds migrate. No, we're just going to have one main idea because it's only one paragraph. So I'm going to read aloud this, and I want you, as we're reading, to try to identify what the main idea is. What's the big picture? What's the key important information that he wants you to get? Lewis and Clark's faithful companion. When Lewis and Clark explored the western United States, a dog named Seaman protected them. One night, a large buffalo came near their tent. Seaman chased the buffalo away. Another night, a grizzly bear entered their camp. Seaman barked and barked at the bear. He barked until the bear ran away. Seaman also protected Lewis and Clark by making sure they had food. Every day, Seaman hunted squirrels for the men to eat. So right now, I want you to pause me and go ahead and type in what you think the main idea from that paragraph is, and unpause me when you are all set. Okay, so now what you have might be different than what I say. It doesn't have to be word for word what I say, but your main idea should be that Lewis and Clark's dog, or Seaman, protects them. That's it. So something along the lines of the dog protects them, or Seaman is the protector. They have a dog that protects them. There's your main idea. So pause me. Go back and fix that. Unpause me when you're done. Okay, so now that you have your key main idea up at the top, which is that the dog protects them, I want you now to go in and type in under your details, which are your red, 3 details that support how the dog protects them. Pretty easy. The text has a couple. Go ahead, pause me, and unpause me when you are done. Should take you a couple minutes here because you're looking for 3, and it's going to be a little longer to find your details. Unpause me when you are all set. Okay, so let's look at our key details. Now, if you're cheating, page 11 is going to give you a little trick. Page 11 already gives us one detail. So page 11, they had seamen chased a buffalo away. There's one of our ideas. Again, you can have that in idea 2 or idea 3. I like to put that one first because it kind of goes in sequence, so I know that I'm not missing one. Another one, the grizzly bear, right? He barks at the grizzly bear until it ran away. So there's 2 events. The buffalo, chased the buffalo away, barked at the grizzly bear, and then the last thing, how he helped them, he got them food by hunting squirrels for them. So there you go, boys and girls. That is your one assignment that you're going to have for me. You're going to have 2 to do today. Okay, so you have this finished, and you're just going to turn these in. Now, don't turn them in just yet because you have to do the other one, and that's going to be our next page called The Snake and the Charmer. So turn to the next page, page 12 in your book, and go into Microsoft Teams on the other side that you have there and open up now the next one called The Snake and the Charmer. This is going to look very similar to the Lewis and Clark Faithful Companion, but this one's going to say The Snake and the Charmer. So if you need to unpause me to go ahead and get that, or you have technical difficulties, unpause me when you have your book open to page 12, split screen me up at the top, and you have your Word file ready to be typed in, just like we did in class. Okay, so I have the topic already filled in for you, and we're going to figure out our main idea. Now this one's a little harder. Why? It's 3 paragraphs. So these 3 paragraphs, a little longer obviously, and the details may not stick out to us as much. And yes, you can go ahead and cheat. Page 13, if you see, it's already filled in for you. They've got 1 key detail. But what I like is they didn't give us the main idea. You guys have to come up with the main idea. And that's what we're going to do first. Let's do that first. So without further ado, follow along as I read page 12. The Snake and the Charmer. You have probably viewed the following scene in a movie or on TV. A snake charmer sits in front of the straw basket and plays a flute-like instrument. Suddenly, from inside the basket, a long, hooded cobra rises up. As the snake charmer plays the music, the cobra sways back and forth. It does not try to attack the snake charmer. Instead, the snake appears to be swaying in rhythm to the music. In reality, nothing could be further from the truth. The cobra can only sense vibrations in the ground. What the cobra sways to is not the music. It sways to the motion of the flute that the snake charmer moves back and forth as he plays. The cobra is trying to get into a position to strike at the flute. However, as long as the snake charmer keeps the flute in motion, the snake cannot attack. The Indian cobra is the favorite of snake charmers because daylight interferes with the snake's ability to strike. At night, however, the Indian cobra is extremely dangerous and more accurate. Cobras don't normally attack people. Cobras don't normally attack people, however. Instead, they go after frogs, fish, birds, and small animals. Okay, so I want you to really think about this, and if you need to reread the text, go back and reread the text. And then on your Word document, you're going to pause me, and you're going to type in your main idea. It's okay to be wrong here. I want you to try, just like this is in class. I let you try something. If it's not right, I'll reveal the answer to you and decide and tell you why that's the main idea, the key part. Okay? So pause me and fill in your main idea. Okay, so the main idea, the most important thing that you got from this story, I would say, and it doesn't have to be word for word what I say, that the snake, the cobra or snake, does not sway to the music. It's not there. It doesn't sense the music. It can't hear the music, so it's not dancing, because that's what you think when the whole first paragraph literally shows you. Have you seen this before? So go ahead, pause me, fix that if you need to, because that's important for our next part. We got to find the 3 details that support that idea of the snake does not sway to the music. Okay, it doesn't sway to the music. It sways to something else, and that's what we're going to figure out and talk about. All right, so now you unpause me. Now I want you to look and go back into the text, and I'll give you a clue. Paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 has a lot of information about what the cobra is actually doing when the charmer's got his little flute out there. Paragraph 3, I'll give you a clue. It's almost like a new main idea. I wouldn't write anything in from paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 gets a little bit more in detail about the Indian cobra and what it eats at night. It really doesn't have anything to do with the one main idea that I wanted you guys to have. Okay, so one would say this has actually two main ideas. Talks about what we're talking about, that the cobra does not sway to the flute music. And the second main idea would be about the Indian cobra. So let's just focus on that first main idea, which is the cobra does not sway to the flute music. So pause me, come up with 3 key details, and I'll give you a clue. Page 13 literally tells you one detail. See if you can find the other 2 details. And unpause me when you have those typed in. Okay, so now you've unpaused me. The key details. Let's see what you have. Now let's do the one from the beginning. The cobra senses vibrations. So the cobra senses vibration. It does not hear the sound. It can only sense vibrations. So that's important. That's one key detail. And I'll let you go back and fix these too after I'm done talking. The key detail, another one, the cobra tries to get into a position to strike the flute. So this, let's pretend this is my flute. Great music. The cobra is going to try to strike this. It has nothing to do with the music. It gets into a position, and then the charmer slowly moves this over, and then you'll notice that the cobra in your head, you notice because you're imagining this, the cobra would then go to the new position. You never thought you'd hear your teacher play a pen as a flute. So the cobra tries to get into a striking position. So the first one, he can only sense vibrations, can't hear the music at all, and it can try to get in position. And then the last one, they already did it for us. The cobra sways to the motion of the flute. Okay, and that's what it looks like. The snake is legit listening to the music, but it really is not. Okay, so that one again, you can see the difficulty increase from the first one, which was, oh, the dog protects things, to this story, because this story, we didn't even talk about the third paragraph. The third paragraph, I would feel, is a whole main idea in itself, because it goes into discussion about the Indian cobra, how it's the best and why it's the best. So the first 2 paragraphs pretty much is what our main idea was about. So our main idea was that the cobra does not sway to the music, and the things that support that evidence is because it only hears the vibrations. It can only sense, not hear vibrations, it can only sense vibrations, and it tries to get into a position to strike, right? That's where the snake's going. It follows that flute, so then the charmer literally knows that. The charmer then has to move the flute. So this would not work if the charmer's just sitting here like this. He'd be attacked by a cobra. No, we would want that to happen. Okay, so very good. Now you have 2 Word documents that are completed, 2 working documents. You have the Lewis and Clark Faithful Companion. That was the easy one. And then you have the snake and the charmer, one already filled in, and those are those Word documents. And remember, boys and girls, those are working documents, so you don't have to upload anything. You just have to, when you're all done, click turn in, and I on my end will see that you finished this and you pretty much have it all right because you did this just like we were in class. I know we're not in class, but this is how I would continue to teach this to you guys if you were in class. So hopefully your classroom at home is as warm and cozy, and we finished that today. Stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to do just one story tomorrow, and it's going to be a little bit more independent. Because I'm going to actually have you guys read it to yourself. Okay? Because these 2 stories, you think about it, and the ones that we did in class, I've been doing all the reading for you. Okay? I've been doing the reading for you, which means I'm helping you on the fluency, I'm helping you on the comprehension, I'm helping you on the vocab. Now tomorrow, I'm going to kick all those training wheels off, and you're going to attempt something on your own. Okay? So that's day 5. This is day 4. Don't worry about day 5 yet, but know that day 5, The video is going to be a little shorter, but the lesson itself will be longer because you're actually going to be doing the reading to yourself. Okay? All right, boys and girls, take care, and I'll see you for day 5.